when I haven't got all of you around me.
The goal is to open new doors and break down the barriers that have prevented them all from making the most of their lives.
Happy days.
Cheers. Happy days. Cheers.
It's week 6 and the end of the course is in sight. The mood on the bus on the way to Wicklow is upbeat, but not all the group are on board. Both Stacey and her Aunt Rose are missing. The rest travel out to Capure. Plans for the future have already been made by some people.
Is there a lovely smell of perfume on me?
There is, fine.
Oh, it's beautiful. I'm after applying for the computer course. So hopefully now after Christmas now that's when I can get into the computer course and get into the computers big time. So this after working out brilliant for me. We have another 2 more weeks after this. So only for this, I'll be honest with you, that's when I wouldn't be starting nothing. I'd be still doing the same old thing, that's what bluffing, but due to this course now, that's what I'm just going to drive on and move on.
Last week, Paul struggled to cope with classes as pressure surrounding his flat hunting and new son became too much for him.
Like, I love coming down, do you know what I mean? It's just like last week I had a bad week. Do you know what I mean? I have to say, yeah, I did, do you know what I mean? And a great human now. So you're gonna see me bouncing around this weekend.
After spending weeks trying to persuade landlords and agents to give him a break, he has decided to opt for supervised independent living and moves into his new home.
Great. So, George, we get visitors when you first move in twice a week. And then when you're here about 2-3 months, then you can every day, you know, visit from 4 till 10. I think you can stay here the max 3 years. But I'll be staying until I can actually get all the experience that I need. So then the key work here is get me a course book with homeless people, like first hand. So that'd be good. Like that's what I want to work as. So I mean, because I want to help people out who've been taking their time in. I can do anything in the building, so like I've done some showering. So I mean, but I don't want to work with my hands. I want to actually make a difference in someone's life. At least then, if I make a difference in someone's life, I feel better about myself. Do you know what I mean? Like the way you all made a difference in my life, or other ones in the team, or in the class as well, do you know what I mean?
This is just another step in Paul's journey from sleeping rough to independent living. A huge part of this newfound independence is coping with money and budgeting, the subject of this weekend in Capure.
Okay, tonight we're going to do talk about ATM machines, technology, do something.
What was the first one you said?
ATM machines, using an ATM machine. And we actually have a piece on the computer tonight which we'll go through. It's actually like you're using the ATM machine. So Bobby's going to go working out, because tomorrow you're all going to be given a budget for the day, and you're going to work that out now. Numeracy sounds complicated, but I suppose it's everyday maths. Take, for example, if I said to somebody, mentioned they were doing percentages, oh God, I hated percentages in school, but if I said there was a coat in a shop for €100, I would say 70 euros, 50% off, most people would say, oh, that's 35 euros. So it's connecting it with real life. It's not just about improving their individual skills of literacy and numeracy, it's about giving people the power that they can manage their own lives also. So what is anybody else thinking of when the course is over? Okay, Carolyn.
I'm over to do my junior.
The junior cert. Okay, and are you attending a centre at the moment, Carolyn?
No.
Or? Okay, so you're looking in a particular centre, is there a centre near you?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody else?
Went back into Pierce College Music.
Okay.
I was seeing the disability officer.
Okay.
Right? And I was explaining about this.
Yeah.
And she thinks she has one in Inchicore College.
Okay, one of the hearing things.
Yeah, one of
oh,
these.
Brilliant,
right?
Vincent. Yeah.
So she said if she has one,
Yeah.
we'll be getting it on loan for 2 years. But if there's not one there, she's going to get one supplied for 2 years.
That's brilliant.
Right? So that means I can return back to Pierce College and do the horticulture course that I want to do.
Brilliant.
I was practicing lip reading because of my hearing problem. And so when people are talking to me, I'll be able to respond to them a lot better. And I'll be able to answer that question. At the very start, when I was down there and we're all at the class, I couldn't hear and couldn't respond, to anything. So I had to solve the problem somehow. So I said I would explain my case. And then the National Association for the Deaf. And then this thing came along and I put it on me. That's when I could hear Kathleen and Bob talking real clear. That's when we start changing. It's a complete change in my life. I'm really happy with this. The sign language course, that's great, that's fantastic. I'm absolutely delighted with that, I never went down there only for this course,
Now, as you know, we've been working this term on the visible consonant shapes. And
I'm learning something new now, and I'm meeting new people, making new friends. That's all part of this course.
Sheer, cheer, jeer. You can hear the difference. Okay, now I take my voice away. Which one am I saying?
Last music, I was able to communicate with the people in there a lot better because we're all in the same boat. So we all understand each other's feelings and I had a hearing, so.
The football fans began to cheer.
It's a tough situation to be in, when you're talking to someone, and or even get the same around the outside, But since we got this, it's a big change, You can hear, even when they walk outside the door, I can hear what they say.
Back at Capure, and Bobby fills the group in on this weekend's challenge.
The budget for everybody tomorrow is €75. And 40 of that is for going to the dogs, for your entrance into the dogs and for your meal. So how much have we left?
We owe you
35.
You've €35 left, okay? But you need money in your pocket to bet on your races.
Right, we need money from this 35, so
Yeah, money for your lunch and for wherever else. If you smoke and you want money for your cigarettes, budget that as well. Remember, because you can't spend any of your own money.
€35, you're going to have to budget. So it's not the money you're thinking about, it's the task of the budget.
Yeah.
So Bobby and I will accept any money you win on the bet.
Because Bobby do need the pants because it's all torn. I do pants.
The group gets stuck into preparing the budget for tomorrow's trip. This gives Bobby and Kathleen the chance to work one-to-one with the students and review their progress.
Water.
W-A-T-E-R.
W-A-T-E-R, yeah, well done.
What is that saying? 2 what? Multiplied by 3. So cancel everything.
Rose and Stacey arrive by car from Dublin. There's been a family tragedy. Rose's nephew has died in Spain.
Well, I just got word early this morning at 7:30, between 7:30 and 8 o'clock, that my nephew has died from a heart attack, and sure everybody's in shock. But Stacey's taking it bad, They're all taking it bad. I am myself. I'll have to stay strong to keep her right. Do you know what I mean? I won't be able to show any.
Stacey has decided not to attend tonight's classes, but both were determined not to miss out on the whole weekend.
Well, you can see the way Stacey is now, right? So, what way would she have been at home looking at Mary crying? The only thing we can do is do our best to come down, and we made the effort, and we're here now, and to do our best. Do you know what I mean? And to keep try and keep a clear head.
An interactive CD, so it's going to talk you through how to use an ATM machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I see, yeah.
Okay.
Saturday morning and the group head to Kiltiernan Country Market at the beginning of their budget day task. The trip allows the tutors to do some extra work with the group.
T-A-B.
Veg.
Veg.
Tables.
V-E-G. E-T. Right.
Tables.
T-A-B-L-E-S.
Very good.
Is that all right? So is there 2 T's in it?
1 T.
1 T.
It's veg-tables.
I'd like to be having a membership for the shop, please.
Okay.
The first week that we went down to Kilpure, our goal was to start learning how to write our own names and addresses. Now, I've achieved that. That's grand, thank you. And I feel so proud of myself. Now, I have to be honest, like, I really do feel terrific about it. You know, it's better than winning the lottery. To me, it is anyway, like, you know. To be able to just ask for a form to have a membership, that's something that I would have never done in my life. You know, I'd always have someone else do it for me, you know, or ask the man for help. I didn't have to ask anyone for help. I was able to do it myself. After being 5 weeks there, like, you know, when everybody's really getting to know one another, that's the time you kind of feel when the end is coming that you don't like the end to come, to be quite honest with you.
Okay, guys, as you know, the theme for the weekend is numbers or numeracy, okay? And you worked out your budget last night, so I'm going to give you all your money. So what we do is now you go off, okay, with your money and buy your bits and pieces for your lunch and everything now. We're going to meet back here at 11 o'clock. Here at 11 o'clock, okay?
Everything the group buy today has to come from their budget. They can't spend over their allowance and they must leave enough cash for tonight's trip to the dogs.
$3.50 plus the container.
No, that's all. That's the whole thing.
I spent €6.50 and I've had nice scone, homemade scone and tea for the 11th. And I'm at buying couscous for my lunch and a lemon cake.
Give me the sweetest one of them.
The sweetest one.
While the team break for lunch, Kevin O'Duffy, a farmer, shares his story with the group.
I could always read. Reading was never a difficulty. But spelling was my biggest problem. And then with all the forms that are coming through the post now from the EU and everywhere, you know, from the Department of Agriculture, there's a lot of writing involved and a lot of numeracy as well, you know. Josie, my wife, had seen this paperwork coming out. She'd disappear because it usually end up in a sort of a shouting match, anyway, you know.
How old were you when you went back to school?
That's only about 8 years ago.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And are you still attending? Are you finished?
Oh, I'm still attending, yeah. I'm doing leaving cert studies now at the moment.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
very
yeah.
nice.
And the computers?
I have computers done, yeah. Computers done, yeah. I have the junior cert. I did junior cert English and I did junior cert maths as well.
He was saying that he could read okay, but that his spelling and his numeracy was what he was getting caught on, which is exactly where I am. You know, especially now with official forms, that kind of thing, like, you know, you can do them, but you don't know if they're right or wrong, or if the spelling is right. But I really found him fantastic. He's done so much.
See, I did the junior cert in the local school in Tullamore, and I was going down with all the kids, you know, that were going in to do the junior cert. And I was a little bit weary how these kids were going to react when they saw this old lad coming in. And but they didn't pass a bit of remarks. They know more than if I wasn't there at all. You know, I just went in, sat in the exam hall. But I was all summer sort of waiting for the results to come, like, see how would I get on. You know, I didn't think I got on that well. You know, I'd be thinking in my head, gee, I didn't get on that well now. You know, but when they came, I was delighted. I was absolutely delighted. You know, so I wish everyone the best and hope you all succeed in what your goals are.
Sure.
I hope you all succeed.
I know Kevin was very interesting. Kevin was kind of in the same lines as myself in business. And I was the same when the letters and that used to come in, you know, for writing, and I used to have to get the wife as well to do it. And there used to be arguments over because she had her own job as well to do.
Keith had run his own successful construction business and at one stage had 30 men working for him. But problems with banks, administration and paperwork got on top of him, and he returned to doing a manual job. After the course, he hopes to go out on his own again and get a taxi license.
We meet again, bye. All this, don't you?
Nice to see you. Nice to see you there.
I started driving a taxi there, and I just wanted to query about the tax for it. They pay it every 12 months.
Well, first of all, we better register for tax anyway.
Right.
So this form is really just doing is just notifying the tax office that you started up. And what'll happen then is when we fill out the form, we send it in to them. About 3 or 4 weeks later, they'll send out a note to you stating that you're now registered as a self-employed person for income tax.
Okay.
So I want you to take it away and fill it out. Now I go through it with you in detail, stuff before you take it away and stuff.
I'm just signing it then.
Yeah, that's be Keith's name of block letters, and then he can sign over here.
Right.
And could I take it home, Dave, and get Liz to fill her in for me, or do I have to...
No, you can come take it away and drop it back into me. That's fine.
It went fairly well. But then again, you see, it's all back down to forms again, that everything has to be filled in now. There's to be a form there with two pages with to be filled in.
Yeah.
And I hold on, then they want all the receipts, diesel receipts.
Oh yeah, like that's the other side. Now you're going to have to keep a record of all your income per week.
That's it. If Liz wanted around,
yeah.
That's it. I kind of hold the main points of the meeting up in my head. And then when I get home, then we discuss then what happened then.
Or else you'd come back with the forms and we'd fill in the forms at home, you know, and I'd drop them off then the next day.
I mean, like hopefully now the school will help me to do what I want to do myself, like, you know, instead of being down in this all the time.
Yeah. Well, exactly, come in and just work away on these sort of things. So, have you got the plate yet, or are you...?
No, well, I'm hopefully now to go to the Street Garda station and to get it sorted over there. Okay. But it's not the plate, Dave. I'm only just going for a licence at the moment to drive one.
License.
Keith has always had Liz to fall back on with his reading and writing. But now, in order to get a taxi license, he must sit a written test by himself.
Taxi license?
Yeah, want to apply for the PCV license?
That's right, yeah.
That's fine, that's okay. So I'll complete the form for you.
Yes, so.
Now, can I take your name, please?
Just Keith O'Connor.
This is the first test Keith has sat since he was a child, and the pressure is on.
Address and phone number on that, and that's paper 1. And there are 12 questions, and you have 30 minutes to complete it.
30 minutes.
Okay?
That's great, thank you. I had every straight up my head, the whole lot up my head, but again, it was trying to get it down on paper. I mean, I had no problem just finding directions from Patrick Street to the regional hospital. The writing was the thing again, so I made a few mistakes, but I crossed them out and kept going until the spelling looked fairly right. Whether they got somebody down from Dublin to analyse the writing or what, I don't know, but no, I just kept on at it. I don't know anyway.
It's Saturday night and the group arrive at Newbridge Dog Track for the final stage of their budget day. It's a great opportunity to put numeracy into practice, as well as back a few winners.
Give us a price in the
Evens.
Give us a better price in the
5 to 4.
5 to 4, right. So that means though, if 5 to 4, if I put down 40, I win 90.
You get back 90, yeah?
No,
you win 50.
Well, there you are.
We're here at the Dogs tonight. It's a way of putting into practice what the guys have done. They're all working on a budget tonight. They're betting on some of the dogs, and it's interesting for them to see, you know, how much they get on, depending on how much money they get and how much money they're winning. So it's a real life situation of numeracy and putting maths into action.
much in total now have you won?
We're actually winning. We won 7, 8, 11 odd.
€11? Brilliant. Any cents?
There could be now.
Could be little cents, but you're doing well.
80 cents.
80 cents. So €11.80.
Yeah.
It's our 6 to 4.
Right.
I'm putting €1 on each way. It wins. How much do I get?
Well, what I normally do, that's a 6 to 4, right? That if you put on 4, you win 6, right? So you have 10 back. So divide that then,
Keith was explaining about the different odds, and he has it very, very quickly now. He was involved with horse racing before. So what we're going to do tomorrow is actually get Keith he can take over the classroom as the teacher to explain betting to us. So the guys will relate to it from tonight, and it'll be a maths class, but it won't be called, we're going to be doing maths, numeracy. It'll be about the night of the dogs and how to work out the odds.
Sunday morning, the final day of weekend 6, and Bobby and Kathleen work one-to-one with the students to chart their progress.
Week 1, I felt more confident than I thought I would. And so the learning began. With pen in hand, it took on a new life of its own.
Okay, now I'm just thinking back to week 1, when you did pick up the pen and it was emotion, like if it was something that you'd never done. So now that we're in week 6, how has things changed for you?
It held me back in ways that I didn't realise, and it's only now we're on the 6th week of this course that I'm realising what a big control I had over me without me realising.
Okay.
And now I can take pen to paper and not be afraid.
Since starting on the course, Olive has joined an internet class at her local library.
Now, so what we're going to cover today is the Google search engine, okay? So the Google search engine just literally being like the yellow pages of the internet.
Getting on better now than expected. I was a bit fearful coming over with sitting with other people and being in a public place. But there was nothing really to worry about because Fiona's brilliant, you know. She really has a good way about explaining things and that to you. And I'm really enjoying the course. So you get so much information on the internet. I didn't realise you'd get around that, you know. But for everything, no matter where I'm going, I didn't realise you could go into the newspaper and find out the headlines. And just by clicking into different things, I was amazed what was coming up. Well, I was sending emails to the class, the rest of the class. So I was able to reply to any of them there 2 weeks ago, and to Kathleen and Bobby. So they said they all received the emails okay, so I was pleased at that.
You're fine, don't worry.
As part of their practical assessment, the group have taken photographs and added captions that help tell the story of the course to date.
The reason why I picked that because Caroline has a soft heart, so that's why I picked that. Okay. I like the way I like her friendship. Okay. And Kate has a good sense of humour. He can give a joke and take a joke. And all of us, we all worked with a great team.
It's my one here. When I seen the photograph, there's kind of rays of sunshine. So I thought, good caption. Our friendship has been blessed. But for the whole group as well, for the course itself. And this is one I took. I know it was on a walk by the river.
That's real now.
It is there if you really look. There's actually little, like little cobwebs, and the early mist has caught them and set on. So that's a good caption for us all for the rest of our lives. It's there if you really look. Sometimes it's not obvious, but if you look, it's there.
You told me about fairies.
Well, they could be, exactly. You're my little special fairy. Or angel. Angel, I meant.
Delta base, Delta Charlie 1 for a message.
Back in Cork, and Keith has received the results of his written test. He has passed with flying colours.
Oh, you got the train station?
Train station, yeah, thanks a million.
I'm delighted I passed, to be honest with you. On the road, driving taxi. It's about time I got something easy anyway to do. And I've been working here since I'm 12 years of age, so laying tar and muck and rain and I mean, it is grand. That's what to be able to sit down and get paid for it.
And plus I enjoy working with people anyway, so I mean, every person that gets into the car, we'll have something to talk about anyway.
If you would like to improve your reading, writing and numeracy, call the National Adult Literacy Agency on free phone 1800 2020 65. That's 1800 2020 65. Six weeks ago, we brought 11 very different people together to begin a course that would change their lives forever.
Hopefully, like, that I'll be able to change my life, like, change it around in the next month, 2 months.
I don't know how I'm going to get on, like, but I'm going to try.
Over the duration of the course, they've all faced challenges and overcome barriers that before this would have held them back.
My bank manager never knew I couldn't write. My accountant never knew I couldn't write.
You can take what you like from everybody that sits down and talks to you, but it's yourself that's the teacher.
It's better than winning the lottery. To me, it is anyway, like, you know.
Each of the 11 have shown that no one should write them off.
Happy days. Happy days. Cheers.
It's a wet, dirty midweek night in Dublin, and Stacey, the youngest person on the course, begins her first night of